All right, everyone, welcome to the IWM Broadcast Network, and tonight we are with our Thursday night partner. This is the iNRS series, and we are in Phoenix, Arizona at Phoenix Raceway for the Shiners Children's 250. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth tonight with my co-broadcaster, Ryan Pittman, and Ryan, this should be a blast.
Oh, absolutely. Phoenix Raceway is always a fun track to drive. Could be a little chaos at times, so we may see a couple things happen tonight. But yeah, very much looking forward to see what these drivers are able to do tonight at this tough little track.
So far this league, we've had just a handful of races there. We've had a number of drivers that are locked into the playoff. Travis Bennett, Nick Alves, Jordan Wenzel is locked in. Right now, we've got some great teams going on here. 40 XLI started strong, but they have not had a win yet. But their drivers sit on top of the points. That's like Kai Collimore, he's on top. Alex Murphy, Jordan Booth, Nick Alves, Jordan Wenzel. All these guys are up there competing. So we're looking forward to see what 40 XLI can do. They're due.
Yeah, we'll be kind of curious to see how these teams work. I got to kind of be refreshed on what some of these teams are. I don't know how many members are actually in a team, but I see we have 40 XLI. I don't know if that's 40 XLI or if it's 40-41, how they perform it. But
it's a 40 XLI.
Okay. And then you have Performance Motorsports in the top three, along with Roadrunner Motorsports as well. So.
Yeah, so right now we've got 40, we get the count, 46 drivers have brought their haulers to Phoenix, but only 40 will compete. So 6 drivers will pack up and go home and try to come back and compete next week.
Yeah, that's always kind of tough, trying to add that little extra pressure, trying to make the field, Rick. I mean, you said 46 drivers, 40 only make the field. That just adds just that little bit extra, a little bit more pressure. And this is a tough track. It's tough to, it's very easy to overstep that bounds. And qualifying, before you know it, you could be scraping the wall. You could be missing a little bit through the dog leg, and before you know it, you're going home. And it could be some of these top guys. I was in a race the other week with some very, very good drivers, and one of them he started the field 40th, Rick, a top 5 driver, and he started 40th in the field because he just slipped up just a little bit, and just about did not make this race. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, Rick, as we've gone through qualifying, and looking to see what kind of times we have going on here.
Yeah, so right now they're just finishing up practice, so they'll move on to qualifying next. We'll see what's happening there. In the meantime, let's jump into, just before we get so much going on, let's grab and just see what the race info is for tonight. So we've got 156 laps. There is a stage break after lap 51. They do have 1 quick repair, 5 sets of tires. They do run 60% fuel here, but this is a 1-mile track, and it's in the desert, so it's looking a little warm. The air temperature is 72, but the track temperature is 98. We'll see if that goes up during the course of this afternoon's event.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, 60% fuel, so I'm kind of guessing we should be looking at about 55 to 60 laps on a tank of fuel. We'll have to see what's more valuable as far as the fuel or tires, if people kind of stretch those tires out a little bit more. And I don't know. We'll have to see. Do we get green flag pit stop? Because that's always kind of scary as well, is who's going to be the first to come down pit road? Because, I mean, this pit stop, this pit road is one of the longest. It's a short track, but the pit road is one of the longest, it seems like, in NASCAR.
It just takes forever. Yeah, it's like Atlanta when you've got to come in now on the backstretch and get into 3. It just takes a long time.
Absolutely.
So right now we've got Josh. Yeah, this is Josh Douglas on the track now, going around from King, North Carolina. A number of other drivers are out there. We'll try to see. They're all qualifying at the same time. So this is Ty Bostic right there. You saw Ty. So if you're unfamiliar with Phoenix, you don't realize, but NASCAR flipped this track. So what was 1 and 2 became 3 and 4, and really kind of jumbled up the start-finish line over the, I guess, 3 years ago?
Maybe a little bit more than that, but yeah. I'm trying to remember, Rick. I couldn't recall. Maybe I can look that up in a little bit. But yeah, that dog leg has added so much. And like I was talking about with this qualifying, that dog leg, that's going to gain you, a couple tenths. But it's always that little bit of extra risk going down there. Like if I was to qualify tonight, what I would probably do is that first lap. Looks like we get 2 laps in qualifying. That first lap, I would probably take it pretty conservatively, stay off that dog leg, and then if I feel pretty good about that lap, make sure you're in the top 40. Then I would maybe try and go for that dog leg and that a little bit extra time. But it's risky, Rick. I know that there's been a couple drivers in the past where you go down there and the car just completely bottoms out and steps out from under you. So we'll have to see if that's a development tonight, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, who else is on the track? Eddie Musso Jr. is on the track. Let's see if we can take a peek at Eddie. Right now, we've got a number of drivers who have already qualified, and there's a number of them that are on the bubble. So looking, Jeff Brogdon is currently on the track. Right now, he is around 43rd position, so as we stated earlier, we only got 40 openings. Glenn Stanley moved up. Glenn was down at the end of this field, but he has now vaulted himself up to 27.
Yeah, we see Glenn Stanley coming down here down the backstretch going into turn number 3. Used to be turn number 1, but turn number 3 now, coming off of 4, and then getting ready to cross that line. Let's see what he does. Goes right down there to the dog leg at the bottom of the track, and that's going to complete his lap. We got to see where he's going to be starting on the field, but it really is a fun track to drive. It's tough, and like I've talked to some guys before, with a track like this, it seems like some people have it, and some people just seem to struggle. It's all about that brake and trying to find a bounce in the car, and what all. It's truly a privilege to drive, a lot of times.
So I think that's the end of qualifying. Just running through, there are a couple that did not end up qualifying, but I think qualifying is pretty much in the books at this point.
Yeah, I
All
see a
right.
couple good top times. I mean, a couple times that are really close together. You're looking at Jordan Booth and Jordan Brogdon. 5 thousandths in between them. We can kind of see some drivers are going to be pretty close coming in this race.
Oh yeah, there's just a few tenths that separates. Just kind of looking down through the numbers, looking at the overall best times. From the best time of Travis Bennett with that sub 27 second time of 26.98. Everybody else, all the way down to position 40, there's only 6 tenths that separates this field.
Yeah, very impressive. And like you mentioned it, Rick, only one car able to break into that 26 bracket.
Super tight, super tight. All right, I guess that's it for qualifying. They're wrapping that up. And again, they will go into a little bit of a driver's meeting. Trying to see if we have options here. Let's see if we can see who's available. Bear with us as we look around and see who's possibly available interview-wise. There's one. He's in Roadrunner Motorsports. Let's see if we can bring Jordan into the booth. Hey, Vernon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Welcome to the broadcast booth. How did your qualifying go?
A lot slower than I expected.
I don't know. We were just talking that the entire field is separated by 6 tenths.
Yeah, Travis ran a 26.9, which is faster than my fastest lap here, so that was awesome for him. I ran a 26.4 and somehow ended up 28th. I figured that'd be a little bit better than 28th, but I guess not. This field must be pretty good.
It's a pretty stout field. All right. Well, listen, good luck today. We'll catch back up with you. Hey, hopefully we'll see you at the podium.
I hope so. I have a lot of work to do, so we got to get at it.
All right. Good luck to you. All right.
Thank you.
That's Vernon Broadbeck. We'll see if we can move him back to his group. We'll send him back to his team. See how that goes, and let's see if we can bring in Jordan Booth. See if Jordan's available to us. Let's see if we can find Jordan while we have a minute or two. Hey, Jordan, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, welcome to the broadcast booth. We're looking forward to today. How'd you do qualifying?
Well, we got in here a little late, so we didn't get quite the practice that we wanted. But I mean, P3 is good. I don't know how Travis got into the 26s. I'll be honest with you, that is absurd. But starting up towards the front, that's nice. And I guess we just got to rock and roll from here.
You got it. All right, listen, have a great race. We're looking forward to watching you guys and the rest of your team out there, and good luck to you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
You got it. All right, that's Jordan Booth. He is with the 40XLI team. We're looking to see if they can break that string of almost and get a win today.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rick, how many races are we into this season? I think it reflects the real life NASCAR series. So we're what 4, 5 races in at this point?
We are, yep, and we're looking forward to this event with these guys. We'll see. And I'm trying to bring back up their schedule. Let me see if I can bring up their schedule real quick. Of course, you know, again, they do dovetail. We run whatever NASCAR is doing on Sunday, we do it first here on Thursday.
So a little bit of a preview for the weekend. That's always great.
I think it's exactly just like that. That's pretty awesome. I just had the schedule up a second ago. I was just looking at it. Let's see here. So from here we move on to Bristol, and
fantastic! That's a great track.
and then on to Coda.
Very interesting. Coda is one of those tracks which is very, very technical, very long, and it kind of almost benefits racing on the sim in a way that it's such a large track that you're not quite so packed up going through, so everybody can kind of space out and you kind of work your own time. But that'll be a very interesting race. I'll be kind of curious to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will tell you, as much as I enjoy uh, um, the ovals here and even Watkins Glen, I struggle at Coda. It is just a very technical track.
I think when I did the race for another league, I think I probably put in at least 8 hours worth of practice before that race, and it worked out. I was able to get the win. Mostly thankful to the fuel strategy, but yeah, it's a very, very technical track. It's one of those tracks where you almost feel like you're under driving the car at every corner. It's just a lot of fun. I've really gotten to like that track quite a bit.
Well, looking forward to it. And I know that our little break here is about to wrap up. Do you see anything on the time as to when that warm up is going to be over?
We are going to grid now, Rick.
All right, let's hide this display. As soon as we get to grid, we will bring up the grid. Nothing as of yet. No one has taken their grid positions. Because I still show 0. You don't show them. Well, I may have a.
I see pace car on pit road, Rick.
Uh-oh. All right, so we may have a small little bit of a glitch. Let's see if we can reset something real quick. Well, something has happened to us. We may have iRacing may have hung us up here.
Well, of course, we did have that big new season update, and that's been kind of affecting me as well. I've had to kind of go through and try to clean some things out, and iRacing still hasn't quite gotten back to being the same
Right?
since the update. But slowly and surely, I'm sure that we're kind of working those bugs out. And
All right.
yes, we see
All
the
right.
pace car coming off the pit road, and we are rolling.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break, see if we can restart iRacing. We'll be right back. All right, we are back live. Bear with us here as we try to get this back underway.
We are going back to the green flag, Rick. So we got Travis Bennett jumping out to the lead, immediately jumping down to the dog leg. I don't know if you're if you're good to go, Rick, and if everything's showing up in your end still.
Yep,
Looks like
we are
green.
Yeah, we are good to go. We're back to green. Thanks for bearing with that little bit of a glitch. Seems that iRacing decided that it didn't want to work for us, but we're back and we are live with 6 laps in here at Phoenix.
Yeah, so fortunately I don't believe we missed a whole lot. We are on lap 7. It looked like on the initial start we did have a caution on the first lap, so that gave us a little bit of time. It looks like it was probably something a little bit back farther at the back because I didn't see anything at the front. But nevertheless, we are back green, of course. Travis Bennett leading. Jonathan Varanauskas, forgive me with my naming, but he started on the outside roll. He's back in 5th right now, so he's lost a few positions. And looks like we are stringing out, and we may be good for a nice little run here, Rick.
Yeah, that would be great. We'll bring up that track map. You can see that, right now we're pretty much we're taking about a solid third of the track here with this field of 40 cars.
Yeah, see everything kind of wiggling back at the back of the pack there. But up front, smooth sailing. And you can see those leaders, they are taking that dog leg. So interesting to see how all that works out. And of course you go down that dog leg, it's quicker, but especially farther at the pack, you go down there, you got to find a way to get back up, Rick. And,
absolutely.
Sometimes there's no room.
We can do. We can kind of ride along with Jordan Booth. He's currently sitting right there in second. So our viewers can actually see just what it's like in that cockpit. Running laps here at Phoenix. They're just crossing the start-finish line.
Yeah, we see there an answer to one of my questions that I was wondering is how much are they shifting here? I knew they were probably shifting going into 1, probably staying 4th gear all the way down to backstretch. From what I would guess, all the way into turn number 3. It looks like I saw that he was in 3rd gear the last time he came off of turn 4. Let's see, 4th gear all the way down to 3rd, yes sir, and then up to 4th and all the way to 5th by the time you get down to turn 1. So a lot of shifting here with 156 laps. As much shifting as you're doing, it's really easy to slip up a gear every now and again. And
absolutely, and that's happening all the way back through this pack. We can kind of take a look through the pack and look and see where there's a lot going on. Let's try to take a wider shot here. You can see some contact there.
Oh,
the 14 goes
there we
around.
go, around.
Well, he saved it. We didn't get a caution. He held on to it.
That's the 14 of Jeff Brogdon.
Yeah. Good for Jeff. Congratulations. Even able to hold on to that, saving us going to caution.
Yeah, that's one of those things that's always kind of tough. Like I said before, this track is pretty tough to pass. So that entry that he made, that's one of the few passing zones you can make, especially going into turn 3. And if you can get it to work, you can make it work. But gosh, it's tough sometimes. And if you don't time it right, or if the guy doesn't know you're going down there, contact is destined to happen.
Super hard. You can see this wider shot of how that field is feathered out throughout this race, but at the same time, there are wide sections of the track, especially through that dog leg, where you can see these guys 2, 3, and 4 wide trying to make their way up and try to find those passing zones.
Yeah, you wouldn't think with a track like this that it would be as multi-groove as it is, but racing here, I mean, especially down going into this turn right here that we see, because it's so flat, if you run that outside line, you can kind of get a little bit of a run without getting so much wheel spin on the exit. That it does seem to work sometimes, and that kind of sets you up for the entry to turn number 3 to try to get a pass on whoever you are racing against down onto the dog leg.
Heading on back to the front, Travis Bennett is currently out front. You've got Jordan Booth tucked in behind, and then we go back a little bit farther. You got Jordan Wenzel and Jonathan Varanakis back there with Rumble Racing. He's sitting back there in 4th. Corey Bunch a little bit farther back. Corey's with Full Throttle Motorsports. And then Alex Murphy, again, another Rumble driver. And then Brandon Hayes with 40 XLI is sitting in 7th. Jacob Musa with Musa Racing is in 8th. And then 9th, you've got Kai Collimore, another 40 XLI driver back there in 9th. And 10, Cody Graham with GKM Racing.
And we see 11th right here. We have Sean Walton. And then in 12th, Alex Forgay Berube. 13th, Tyler Lem. 14th, we have Eric Jeffers. 15th, Martin Garreau. 16th, Simon Madkin. 17th, Matthew Robinson. 18th, Matt Perusini. 19th, Clark Franz. 20th, we have Vernon Brodbeck.
There we spoke to Vernon at the beginning of the broadcast. He said he turned in a good lap and then found himself back in 28th, but he's already picked up 7 positions from his qualifying.
Yeah, and this is probably going to be one of those tracks where it's just trying to be patient, let the car come to you, race the track more than racing the drivers, because with the way this track kind of works out, look at that, almost 4 wide going through the dog leg, it seemed. But tires are going to wear here, and that flat banking of that turn you see right there, the tires are going to have to hold on, and I'm sure we'll see a little bit of change positions once these tires wear a little bit.
Absolutely. We're also keeping our eye onto Corey.
Got a car around on the
there
front
we are.
stretch.
That looks like Kai Collmore.
Yeah. Couldn't tell what happened there. It looked again like somebody just tried to get to the inside. Maybe he did not know that he was there. We'll have to see once we get a replay here.
Yep, let's bring up that replay. We'll stick with Kai Collmore.
Oh, he just got a little loose, Rick.
Easy to do for sure. Tried to save it, then get tagged by the 19. Back up into the racing surface. Luckily, everyone made it past him. But the 19 did get involved.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of got let off easy there. That could have been a really big wreck if the 39 had slightly overcorrected a little bit. So good job on him by keeping it pretty low on track and everybody kind of trying to avoid him. But yeah, I mean, this track is certainly slick, and if you don't get your entry right, then that kind of messes up your exit, and before you know it, back end is coming around. As we all know with these next-gen cars, it does not do well whenever you get it even the littlest bit sideways.
Nope, that 19 was that's Alex Forgay Berube, who wound up getting in, I think, to the driver's door with a little bit of contact there. I expect to see that we will see them coming down after lap 21. We may see some folks on pit road, may not. They probably have plenty of fuel, but there may be some guys that need some tires.
Yeah, I got to double check here and see how many tires we actually get for this race, Rick. But 156 laps. I got to look and see and do the math.
I think they've got five sets of tires. So.
Okay, so 6, 1 in the car and 5 in the pits. Gotcha.
All right, no takers yet, I don't think, on pit road.
It comes out to about 26 laps for a set of tires to evenly distribute that across the race, Rick. So it wouldn't surprise me too much for people to come down here.
Couple drivers. Yeah, it looks like Vernon Brodbeck and Jeff Brogdon are now on pit road. You did see Kai Collmore. He probably came in, got some tires. Ty Bostic on pit road. Scott Thomas.
Yeah, and here's one of the things to always kind of keep in mind at a track like this, because as we mentioned before, where the pit road is so long, it's almost kind of like Bristol, because we had a race at Bristol the other week where we utilized the front and the backstretch pit road as one pit road. So if you had to come down during green flag conditions, you're almost guaranteed to go not but 1, but 2 or 3 laps down. So I kind of agree with coming down and taking at least fuel here, because if this goes long, and if you have to come down during green flag, that can be fatal if an untimely caution comes out or you get caught.
Yeah, based on the numbers that we're seeing, pretty much everybody came down and had at least enough time in there to get not only tires but fuel. Looks like also that Vernon Brodbeck also may have repaired some damage. The same with Kai Collmore. Now these drivers do have one quick repair, which basically is a do-over. But if you don't need to use it, it's better to have that in your back pocket just in case.
Oh, absolutely. I always try to save that till the end of the race for sure, because you think you might be out of the trouble, and then you get to the end of the race and things just don't line up, and before you know it, you're junked and in the infield and on the way home.
Absolutely.
So.
So on this track, in this league, the driver does have lane choice. The leader has lane choice on the restart. So it looks like Travis Bennett has elected to take the inside line.
Yeah, not too much of a surprise here. My guess is he's probably going to, as soon as he goes across the start finish line, jump down onto that dog leg. So again, not too much of a surprise to see. I guess the main thing we got to kind of keep an eye on is guys trying to jump down to the inside of somebody before they cross the start finish line, because I believe there is a rule here, Rick, that you cannot do that without getting a penalty. Make sure you stay in line. We see the 01 getting up to speed, crossing the start finish. Yep. Fired off. And immediately down there to that apron, or the dog leg, going to one. Everybody spread out 3-4 wide. It seemed like farther there in the back.
Well, and you saw just in that shot that you've got about a third of the field cutting the dog leg, and the rest staying up on the track. That certainly makes for, when you come back together, a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, and I immediately saw I think it was a 39 car. I see a couple cars that are out there kind of the same paint scheme, but he had a little bit of a snafu there on the bottom, and before you know it, you're at the back and in the mess of things. And that's where things can really kind of go wrong. Is you have a great day going, you have some kind of slip up, and as we speak of a slip up, we have another caution.
I think Vernon Broadbeck may have been caught up in that one, but you're right. You can see the 40 XLI guys, Ryan. They're all in those purple cars. Jordan Booth, Brandon Hayes, and Kai Callamore are all in those distinctive purple and black cars. Let's see if we can find Vernon and see what just happened.
I think somebody said he might have got in there a little too hot. Yeah, you see he's on that apron.
So Vernon is in that number 10 black and yellow car. You've got the 39 of Kai Callamore to his inside. And now this is what we were just talking about when you come off the dogleg and now you're working. Looks like the 14 just didn't move. And he may have caught into the back of the 14.
Yeah, I think he might have been just trying to take that corner just a little bit conservatively. And in a sense, I've got caught up in that too. You're at the back and you're just trying to get a couple laps in. You take a corner conservatively, and the guy behind you may not be doing so much as you are, and before you know it, you're hitting the back. You think you're trying to be safe and smart, and sometimes it just does not work out that way.
No, it didn't. So you saw that that Vernon Broadbeck was involved. There was a little bit of contact with the 5 as well as the 14. Unfortunate for these drivers. That's Jeff Brogdon in the 14. The 5 is Richard Mills. There was some contact. Those drivers right now are in the pits trying to get some repairs done as best they can.
And I can tell you the driver that's liking this more is the 01 with these restarts.
Absolutely. The other, as long as you can stay out front, you can stay out of trouble. That's for sure. My concern is the more we go around, and as we get to some potential green flag pit stops, it's going to be super challenging as this field gets spread out, because you'll have with the mile track, you'll have these leaders blending into lap traffic.
Oh, absolutely. We already kind of saw that the distance that people are willing to cut down on that. Again, speaking of the dog leg, but the distance they're able to go down there, they're going down there onto like essentially the pit exit. So you're going that low, and then you get kind of guys that are coming off the pit road. That can be kind of hairy in certain situations if things are not timed right. And somebody's coming out of pit roads and you don't see them, and before you know it, they sneak up on you pretty quick.
Absolutely. So our caution count's off a little bit. It does say second caution. I believe that should actually say third. We had a little bit of an issue. If you're not familiar with iRacing, there was a humongous update that was done over the last couple of days where iRacing rolled out a new feature on this platform. They brought rain to the platform.
We have any rain tires in the pits, Rick? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know. Here in the
We are
desert.
in the desert.
I'm not
Maybe not
expecting
this
weather.
week.
Well, let's see what the weather shows. Let's see what the weather's got. I think we're pretty clear. We don't see any rain in the forecast. Partly cloudy, a little humid, but not too bad.
Yeah, of course, iRacing has stated that it is car specific, and currently the next gen car is not on that list of vehicles that accept the rain tires and rain. But I see the pace car has the lights off, Rick. It looks like we're about to go green flag racing here again on lap 29.
All right, Travis Bennett is back, still in charge. Got a little tap from behind by Jordan Wenzel in the 81, saying, "Hey, I'm here."
Kind of getting the mind games of people too. It's kind of fun to do that. Just a little bit of fun sometimes, especially with a buddy of yours.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
entering the Geico restart zone momentarily. And this will be back in the hands of Travis Bennett.
and again, a fantastic restart. Gaining about 1 or 2 car lengths. Immediately right off the bat. Again, 3-4 wide, about nearly at the back, entering turn 1. Everything so far seems clean. The 81 looking down to the inside of the 41 car. And again, Rick, caution is out.
Looks like Vince Burns may have spun. We'll go back and take a look at that. I was also keeping an eye on Corey Bunch in the 77. He has now moved up to 4th. He is a teammate of Travis Bennett. Kind of expecting to see some good things out of Corey this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of looking at some of these lap times. I know we don't have a whole lot of a reference here, but I wanted to kind of shine a light on something that Jordan Booth right now currently has the fastest lap in the track with a 27.161. The leader has a fastest lap of a 27.281. So is Jordan Booth a little bit quicker than the leader here? If we get a long green flag run and he's able to kind of click off some laps, is he able to kind of get up there and fight for that lead? I know we're early on, but here we see what happened.
So we're going to kind of let this play out at a little bit of a slow speed.
Is it the same thing we've seen, Rick?
It could be. It
Not
is.
clear? Not clear.
Not clear.
Yep.
That's the 39 of Kai Collmore into the 13. Hang on one second. So that was the initial contact. Yeah, that's a huge hit.
Be grateful for this past repairs, for sure.
So
hopefully the 39 hasn't taken his. He was involved in an incident once before, correct?
Correct. So there's a lot going on here, way more than we saw. So we've got the 13 of Nick Alves. We've got Kai Collmore. The 28 of Musso is involved. I see the 26, the 11 at High Rock Chevrolet is involved. The 67, a plethora of cars in this incident.
And again, we see some of those guys that the 14 car squeaking through there.
That's the.
Who was that?
That was the 55 of, I think that was Vince Burns, who was also caught up in this as well. All right, back to live action. We see Vince Burns coming down. You do see I think that was a 25 looking to get a nose repaired.
Yeah. And again, like we've mentioned before, if you get a little bit of damage, and if you think that we're going to get enough cautions to repair what little bit of damage you can, it's worth just going down there and slowly clicking off some time and trying to slowly get that car repaired without using that fast repair, because you never know what's going to happen later on in the race.
Yeah, it's always best to keep that in your back pocket, but you just never know. Just when you think you can safely use it, things happen.
Yeah, absolutely, and it happens in a hurry, as we saw.
So as we were just mentioning earlier, you were watching, keep our eye on Corey Bunch. Definitely championship favorite. Good opportunity for him to kind of get back up and back in and get a win. Previously on this track, Jeff Brogdon is was the reigning champ on at this track. So we were just talking earlier. You heard us mentioning 40XLI. It kind of seems right now it's 40XLI versus the world. Right now, every one of these teams is kind of gunning for these drivers, and As others have said, that they're a young group, they're cocky, and you know what? Darn it, they're good too. So it certainly makes it a challenging competitor out here, and you got 3 good drivers all on the same team.
Yeah, and if you can back it up, what can you say? I mean, and looks like pace car is off. We're going through the backstretch, so we still got a little bit before cars fire off here again. But I'm hearing a couple people over the voice chat say patience. It's a long race. Let's have a good one. Be smart here and just try to go for a long green flag run.
All right, we're about to get the green flag. Again, Travis Bennett is still in charge.
Yeah, but 41 slips his tires, it seems like, in the 01 again. Able to get out there. The 81 may clear for second position here. Again, 3-4 wide. Back out towards the back.
We were 4 wide, but they were, the way they were spread out, could have been 6 or 7 wide at that point.
It certainly shows these drivers are putting on quite the spectacle here tonight, for sure.
I mean, I expect we'll see the same thing on Sunday with the
absolutely.
with the Cup drivers. So
Absolutely. Looks like the 81 may be contending here for the lead. He might go for that high side, like what I said, Rick. If he can get a drive, that outside line lets you kind of put the power down. If he can get to his right side, or maybe get a run off this back stretch. Ooh, 41 gets another run to the inside of the 81. So I take that back. Let's see how this works out. I'm excited to see. Can we have a contention for the lead?
Looks like the 01 of Bennett kind of closed the door a bit as that 81 was trying to go up.
I hear tire squeal towards the back. Looks like we're good. But oh, what a fantastic race for the lead here. The 41 goes down to the inside of the 01. He tagged him.
Oh, contact. 01 tags the wall.
Oh,
saved it, but there's lots going on. There's all kinds of spin outs. We're gonna have to catch that one back up. There's all kinds of.
What a fantastic save by the 01, keeping it off that inside wall.
Try to scroll back. Travis Bennett was involved. Corey Bunch, Jacob Musso, Jonathan Veronakis. See if we can go back.
Yep, kind of like what we've seen before, Rick. That inside line, he just gets a little loose, washes up the track, and gets into the 01 of Travis Bennett, and the 81 is not able to slow down in time, and things just kind of stack up there on the bottom. Hard hit.
81 involved, the 77. Door gets closed.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I was really looking to see the 81 get up there and try to race for that lead, which of course, like we said before, we do have one fast repair, so I'm willing to bet we'll probably see the 81 down here on pit road very, very shortly.
Seeing some damage just on the Kai Collimore car. You saw him crabbing down the track. He's definitely had some suspension damage. So.
I see the 77 with the hood raised going down the backstretch. It looks like the hood pins have come unclipped, and I don't know how that driver is able to see anything. I didn't even know iRacing had that kind of physics. Corey Bunch as he's going down pit road. The 77.
Yeah, we're just trying to look through the field here.
Haven't seen that before in iRacing.
Wow, that's
maybe
Corey
it's not
Bunch
showing that on
down.
your screen. Yeah, it's showing different on your screen.
Yep, definitely seeing some front damage on the 77 for sure.
Yeah, let's see if he gets that fast repair slid through his box just a little bit. Back it up.
You can see his a little bit of undulations. There we go. There's that fast repair pop in.
Yep. Might as well while you're at it. Right side tires. I'm sure we'll see some lefts as well. Yep. Second life. Back at it.
All right, that's our 5th caution of the night. Definitely an incident right at the front of the field. So our leader has not pitted. That's Travis Bennett. And if you're Travis Bennett, you probably have a little bit of damage, but not too bad. Certainly flat spotted your tires because
Yeah,
he did come around.
I think he'll be okay. Like what I said, I'm sure he would like to come down pit road, but to give up that lead position with as dominant as that is on a restart, I just don't think he can do it right now. Like I said, we can go somewhere around 55 to 60 laps on the tank of fuel, and with all these cautions, I'm sure he can stretch it even further.
Absolutely, and you're right. If I had the option of staying up front and working it out, or getting cycled back to the tail end of the field and having to fight back up on a track that's already challenging the pass, I would stay up at the front.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's an interesting thing to consider, Ryan, that the top 17 have not come down pit road, but the rest of the field has.
Interesting, Rick.
Yeah. So if you were to, as this first half of the field does need to come in for a pit stop, half the field's going to stay out, and if it's under green, they're going to get cycled back. I mean, there's going to be, yeah, they're going to wind up being a lap or two down.
Again, such a fantastic launch the 01 gets into turn 1. I saw those two 40 XLI cars there lined up right behind each other on that restart.
Yep, that's Brandon Hayes back there in the 40. 41 is Jordan Booth. Caution is back out for Alberto Abar, I think. We'll try and see what I'm sure we find out that. Oh, and he's definitely got some nose damage on that 7.
Yeah, and one thing that's always kind of tough with these cars too is they don't seem to react very well with cold tires. So if we don't ever have a chance to really get these tires warmed up, it's very, very easy to lock up or.
Looks like he may have had some. It's like the 3 of Walton may have tagged his left rear quarter panel.
Yeah. Again, that just could be a difference in braking zones.
Easy to do. That's right behind the 8 of Josh Douglas. The 3 goes up, does get into the 8 as well. That 8 comes down and just kind of collects number of drivers. Brogdon in, collected unfortunately again. The 8 continues on, not too bad. I think there's a 2 that also got involved. But the 7 of Abar definitely goes around. All right, you see this, the Abar is coming onto pit road. Brogdon as well. Number of drivers on pit road: Corey Bunch, Eddie Musso Jr., Garrett Walden, all on pit road.
All right, so once again, the 01 stays out.
As is the top 17. And that 8 that we saw, that's Josh Douglas. He is sitting in 17th. So, like I said, just under half the field has stayed out. We've got 39 cars still on the lead lap, pretty much the entire field, I think. That may change after this round of pit stops, but a good bit of drivers still on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's impressive. Good for them for sticking it out. I know sometimes things don't go the way you want, but you got to kind of reset, keep your head at it, and kind of go back at it. Forget about it.
It absolutely makes it challenging, especially on this 1 mile track. It's so easy for and one of the challenges here, as we talked about earlier, is that there's that transition. You hear us talk about the dog leg, but that's a transition from off the racing surface onto the paved apron area and then back on the racing surface. And with the previous Cup car, that wasn't quite the deal as it is with this next gen car.
Yeah, you're right, Rick.
All right, 6 cautions done. We're 45 laps into the Shriners Children's 250 here with the iNASCAR Racing Series. We appreciate you tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network, where we bring you this series each and every Thursday night.
Lights are out on the pace car. I'm sure we'll be seeing it dip down on the pit road here shortly.
We have just 2 competitors. They're down just one. Kai Kalmore, he's 2 laps off the 2 laps behind. Everybody else is, unfortunately, they are out.
Back through the restart zone. The 01 of Travis Bennett fires off and once again gets a great lead.
Huge jump.
41 on the outside is able to stick it a little bit, but he's certainly having contention with the Alex Murphy, the 30 car. See if he's able to get his nose down there to the inside just slightly. Try to get it to where
So Tyra Lem contact the wall, be bounced off that safer barrier. That's in that 99 UPS car right there.
Yeah, I see a couple drivers getting certainly close to that wall. Try to get all the racing surface you can get, but it'll bite you, especially off of 2 where that track is so flat and you're trying to throttle up.
Well, on top of that,
out there and grab you in a hurry.
These guys are on 48-lap old tires. Now, we have had a number of cautions, which kind of mitigates. And speaking of cautions, it's back out again for an incident, or a number of drivers involved. Another big incident. I think Musso, Bunch, Alves, all involved. Let's see if we can get a picture of what's happening here. Trailing behind the 77 of Corey Bunch. Happens all in front of him, unfortunately.
Oh, no. Yikes. Oh, I think he'll be okay, Rick.
Yep.
But hard on the brakes for sure.
Yep,
good job slowing down.
Unfortunately, a fortunate thing, a number of those drivers who were involved were, it's not their first incident.
Yeah, we just saw the 77 of Corey Bunch get his fast repair that last caution. So, heck of a job getting that thing slowed down and not costing yourself a race. He's still able to get back out there and contend for it.
But we have all the leaders now are on pit road. In fact, if I look through the data, pretty much the entire field has made it onto pit road.
And that's not all too surprising, I guess. We're getting kind of closer to that fuel window, like I was talking about with lap 50.
Well,
and before you know it,
let me rephrase that. Not everybody came down. Ty Bostic did not come down. Vince Burns, Vernon Broadbeck, they all stayed out.
looks like Ty Bostic may be coming down pit road.
Yep.
Yielding that first place position. So we're looking at the 55 of Vince Burns, who will now resume the lead, or will now take the lead.
Yep, he's also got the 10 of Vernon Broadbeck behind him, who also elected to stay out, as well as Garrett Walden.
It looks like the once leader, Travis Bennett, will be lined up in fourth, so really not too far back. Let's see how he's going to be able to get through these four cars in front of him. Hopefully, take his time, be smart with it, and keep your cool. And before you know it, I'm sure we'll see him back up there competing for the lead.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of guys who we've seen at the front. Jordan Booth in the 41. Brandon Hayes, who we just saw battling at the front, is now sitting back in 35th. We'll keep an eye just on those guys to just see what and how they make their way back up to the front. So this is a very interesting situation here. You got Vince Burns and Vernon Broadback, who were towards the tail end of the field, involved in an incident or two, but have worked their way back up here, lap 51, 1/3 of the way through this event.
One thing I'll be kind of curious to take a look at here, Rick, is we had that 01 that was previous the leader, but he's going to be starting in the 4th position, which is going to be on that outside. And the 30 car that was behind him, while he may be one row back, he's going to be on the inside. So we may see him take that little bit of shortcut. We'll see if he can actually get by the 01 here on this restart.
All right, lights are off on top of our pace car. That means only one thing. We are about to go back to green flag racing.
Still plenty of field of cars. Always great to see that we still have all these competitors out here with us. 55 rolling, going through the restart zone. And as he fires off, once again, gets a great start. The 01 gets kind of stacked up on that outside like it kind of figured may happen.
Oh,
Actually gets into the 10. I'm hearing that it may be a possible missed shift on the 10.
Well, that is certainly easy to do. Unfortunately, that has really jumbled up the field, and unfortunately, the nose is now missing off of Vernon Broadbeck's.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate. Finally was able to get back up there to the front of the race and have a shot at going for it, and things just sometimes happen.
Well, absolutely. Let's see if we can get a better shot of what just happened.
Yep, car on the outside. Yep, certainly
Let's
slow.
try to go back and try to get a better shot, a little bit deeper here behind.
And you see the 55 already has fired off, and the 10 just not picking up a whole lot of speed. They're stacking up more and more. The 01 gets into the back, and the 99 into the back of him, and it just stacks up like an accordion.
And there's no place to go because the rest of the field is already underway. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
the 10 just winds up into the 19.
What a hard hit.
Yep, tearing off that front fascia. Well, we are back under caution here at Phoenix, lap 55. You can see the damage to the 10. He's got no nose. That's not going to help him. This is really not an aero track, but still.
Yeah, certainly not. But one kind of thing that I've kind of been curious about is, do you know, Rick, if there is an incident limit for this this event tonight?
Super good question. I do not have that answer.
Okay.
But that would be a good question to ask.
I'm sure we may find out here before too long.
Yeah, a number of drivers certainly have accrued a number of incidents for sure.
I think sometimes a lot of it not of your own doing. It's just getting caught up in some stuff.
As that was the line from the Three Stooges, victim of circumstance.
That's it.
All right, lap 56. We are under caution here for our 8th caution of the night here with the iNASCAR Racing Series at Phoenix. We ran green flags for a good bit, but we have come across a rash of cautions, mainly on these restarts, and I think where we heard that one was caused by a missed shift.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Things like that do happen, but now the problem is we've had a rash of cautions with some guys that maybe at the back that feel like they have a fast car. They may not be feeling like they have much of an opportunity to get up to the front, like, smoothly, because before you know it, laps are ticking down. We're over a third of the way through this race, and haven't really had an opportunity to make your way up through the field aside from just avoiding wrecks. But this is kind of where the impatience starts to kind of kick in, and oftentimes can actually kind of make the situation worse in some senses, where you make moves that you would not normally do, but you almost feel like you have to because time is running out, it almost feels like.
Yeah, it's really winding down. You'd be surprised how quickly it's going to come back. We're about to go back to green flag. The 55 is in charge. Good restart. Looking back through the field.
Looks like 43 got a little loose.
Yeah, a little contact there as well.
That was a Chevrolet of Garrett Walden that got a little loose there on the outside.
3 wide. You know, this mile track that's relatively flat, super hard to be 3 wide.
It can be done in certain areas of the track, but others, not so much. And that's kind of the almost the beauty of it. Kind of the adrenaline rush of racing this track at times. You know, as we see somebody kind of find that narrowing up of the corner and smack the wall just a little bit, as we saw some smoke. Oof. Was that the 27 that locked up getting into turn 3 and slid up the track? That could have very easily been another caution.
That's Cody
Great
Graham.
job.
Oh, there's motion at the back. Wrecking right there with
The 8, the sun drop vehicle.
Josh Douglas. He
Yep.
survived it though. It did not. We are seeing that. We are seeing the fact that because it's so flat, the opportunity to save it, and it's so wide, it's there.
Seeing more smoke. I see the 43 maybe was a little bit
lot
slower
of
there.
shuffling going on. A lot of spin. It's like Jordan Booth wrecking. There's the 11 High Rock Chevrolet has gone around again. That's Tyler Thurman. Damage there. Brodbeck also involved.
Yeah, it's a shame for Jordan. Looked like he got that front bumper clipped back on. But now we may have more issues even further, as it looks like he will be coming down to pit road to attend to his vehicle.
Let's go back and see just what we see here. There's a number of incidents in front of the 41 of Jordan Booth. You can see up ahead, definitely some cars bouncing off each other, spinning. That Exalta car comes down. But the 41 may have just been trying to avoid all that and
Flip the apron, that uneven surface, and great
Yeah.
job of saving it.
Oh,
Up until the 24 kind of got up to him.
he got punted around. Here comes a 19.
Super unfortunate for him. Looked like he was going to save that car there on the apron.
Yeah, and you just saw the 11 contact in with the 10 and go spinning, and yeah. Well,
That's what you call a multi-incident incident, where one thing happens further up, everybody tries to check up and avoid, and more chaos ensues farther back as people try to get around that race and check up, or get around that incident and check up.
all right, you just saw that the 41 of Jordan Booth used his quick repair to get his car back in shape from being caught up. Really, I mean, he spun a little bit coming off that when that transition from the racing surface to the apron, which is super easy to do. But what really killed him was the contact with the other drivers, where they came down and weren't able to avoid him.
Yeah. It's always kind of one of those things. It's tough. You see an incident out front, and you're trying to look out front as well, but at the same time, you got to be looking in your mirror to see what's going on behind you. And it really is tough sometimes trying to get a figure where everybody is on the racetrack and what you can do to make it through that incident.
All right, just to kind of give you a feel for where we are right now, top 10 is Murphy, Burns, Lem, Madgen, Jeffers, Wenzel, Bennett, Robinson, Graham, and Giroux.
And
Alex
I believe
Murphy. Go ahead.
we were talking about the team of the 40 XLI vehicles here before the race was starting, but I don't see a team up into the top 15. I think I see the first car is in the 18th position of Brendan Hay. So
Yeah, he's back there in 18th, and really right now, Kai Collimore is sitting back in 37th. And obviously, you just saw Jordan Booth. He's in 32nd after that last incident. So not right now, a lot of challenges facing these 40 XLI guys, but there are nearly 90 or so laps to go. So plenty of time here to try and get a lap back or get back up to the front. Once we can kind of get a regular set of green flag pit stops, that complexion could all change.
yeah, absolutely, Rick.
That being said, with as many cautions as we had, at some point, these guys, you've only got one quick repair.
And I don't see that many cars still lapped down. The only one I see is 2 laps down, 39th position. But it looks like we still may have 38 cars on the lead lap here.
Yeah, as you can see with all those cautions, Kai Collimore, who was 2 laps down, is back on the lead lap.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see the 01 there again on the inside. Is he able to make it through some of these guys? You see, dip right there onto the dog leg, and maybe he can get around the 12 car. And it looks like he may going into turn 1.
Oh, contact.
Thing is, like I said before, you get on that inside line, and it may be a little bit tough to actually throttle up and get by some of those guys on the outside. The outside carries so much momentum on that backstretch if you do it right. And we see the 40 car, I think, actually got sideways there back at the back. Maybe more contact back there once again and around.
Yep. Caution is back out. Bostic, Brandon Hayes was involved. Ty Bostic was involved. Let's go back here. Oh, that's Musso, who just shed his nose. The Bostic car is, I think, also missing his nose. I think you're right. I think that Brandon Hayes in the 40 spun, and that may just everybody kind of checked up, I think, and unfortunately, no place to go for a number of these drivers. That's the 25 of Musso.
And then just loses it once again and comes right down onto Bostic. That was kind of a bit odd because it seemed like he had slowed down enough and got a hold of the car, and then it kind of just hooked back left on him.
We could try to back that up, maybe go inside the 40, see if we can learn something. Let's try to. See if we can learn something.
Did he get a little tap from the rear? And then as he tries to throttle back up, he just spins the rear tires and it comes around on him.
Yeah, let's go back from in that far chase shot and see if we can.
Seemed like it started a good little bit back behind, further back. See the 14 car there.
Yeah, I think he may have had a little help on that. So that's Brogdon.
14 of, yes sir, Jeff Brogdon.
Gets a little help, spins, takes the little tap on the 40, spins him around. Unfortunately, that's what started this. There you go. All right. Lap 69 out of 156. Another incident towards the back of the field. Collected Brandon Hayes, Ty Bosick was involved, Eddie Musso Jr. I think Kai Collymore also may have been involved, but we are going to get this back underway. Hey, we're now at lap 70.
At this point, who hasn't been involved in something?
You are correct. Well, the field's getting kind of, right now we're still under yellow conditions. Thanks you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. Bring you the best that iRacing has to offer on Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, and this week on Friday as well. Friday this week, we will be bringing you some money races. So 2 races put on by Super Speedway King starting at 9 o'clock on Friday night with our first event, followed by the bigger event following that. These are 30-lap truck races at Talladega with some of the best drivers that iRacing has to offer. I'm talking serious I ratings, seasoned guys who do nothing but find a way to compete in these money races, and we're fortunate enough to have teamed up with Super Speedway Kings to bring you that Friday night, tomorrow night.
Yeah, Rick, it's always kind of fun to just kind of sit back and watch some of those guys that have been around the sim for many, many years and see what they do to become as good as they are. Maybe you can kind of learn a little something just by watching them, you know? I've certainly done that.
What I have learned watching those guys compete is that I don't want to compete with them. Because
certainly relate.
When it's coming down to the last 3 or 4 laps, they can put some moves crazy. All right, we're back underway. Yeah, that's Alex Murphy. Good jump. We're trying to keep our eye back towards the middle of the pack here. That's where we seem to see a lot of action. Good restart. Looking at Travis Bennett up to 4th.
Travis Bennett currently now has the fastest lap of the race with a 27.132 second lap as he works that bottom line trying to get around the 99 car of Tyler Lem. Seems like he may have clipped the wall there. May not have been looking exactly, Rick. I don't know if you can confirm.
Thought I saw something, but
I think he may be dropping back just a little bit, trying to.
He's currently still showing in 5th. I think that 55 is trying to slip underneath. I think we're seeing just a lot of drivers tag that safer barrier.
It's certainly easy, Rick. I've certainly done it more than a few times, more than I would probably like to admit.
Looking back up front, Alex Murphy continues to show us way, but the 46 of Simon Magin has slipped under, trying to get a pass going here. You got the 99 of Tyler Lem back there in that UPS.
And I believe that's 2 teammates there working the top 2 for Rumble Racing, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct. Alex Murphy and Simon Magin are part of Rumble Racing. Good work there, getting a couple good solid laps in.
The great battle up here with the top 3 cars. Looking to see if the 99 can maybe get that outside line to work. He sticks his nose just a little bit lower there in the dog leg. But I want to see if he kind of runs that higher line here, as it looks like he may in 1 and 2. See if he can get to the outside down the backstretch. Not quite.
I think with all the shifting they're doing, Ryan, it's really got to be well timed.
Oh, absolutely. And it's going to be a lot about that momentum. I think setting up that pass is really going to start in 1 and 2. If you can run that outside, get a run down to backstretch, and then make that momentum carry down into 1 and 2 and onto the dog leg, I think that's going to be where your passing is going to happen, essentially taking up the whole lap.
I was pretty amazed just watching as the cars came through that dog leg and they dropped onto the flat apron area. You can see that they actually, all 4 tires were off the ground for a split second.
Yeah, I'd be kind of curious to see, like, from a driver's perspective going through that dog leg to kind of see what the steering wheel looks like, whether the car actually looks like it's a little bit loose going down there, and how difficult these cars are to control.
We could ride along with Tyro Lem. He's just kind of,
his nose.
yeah, he's just easing it through the restart zone.
Pretty stable wheel. Looks like it's as long as you kind of keep the wheel straight, it may not be too difficult. But these guys may be making it look easy. It may be a lot more difficult than it may appear to the eye. These drivers certainly appear to be a masterclass out here.
Yeah, you can see him counter steering a bit as he makes his way through that corner.
And I'm kind of curious to see what lap these drivers came down pit road and how many laps they have on their tires, because I'm seeing 4th gear all the way through. We saw earlier in the race that we were seeing 3rd through 5th all the way through the corners, but right there we're seeing just 4th. So I'm wondering is as these tires wear, they may have to be a little more conservative on their throttle input and what gears they choose to run.
So it's like the pretty much the entire top 6 or so, with the exception of Vince Burns, who last came in on lap 33. Everyone else came down lap 49. Of course, we've had a lot of caution laps since then.
So we're still looking at a good 30 laps or something. Excellent battle we see here at the front.
Yeah, it looks like the 81 of Jordan Wenzel has kind of joined into the battle. He's right there, and who else? Travis Bennett is now in 5th right there. So these 5 cars have kind of separated themselves from the pack. We can bring up that track map and get a little feel for how we're spread out. Yep, over half the track is covered in cars.
And I'll be kind of honest, Rick, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the 81 of Jordan Wenzel. I kind of like the line he's running. I like the way he's making his way up here. I certainly would not count him out. I think he may be a contender here once we get towards the end. He's certainly the driver I got my eye on.
Well, Jordan Wenzel, he's no stranger to that podium, so absolutely. Jordan Wenzel currently sits 5th in points and certainly has already punched himself into the playoffs.
And as you kind of look at these drivers here, you can kind of see like where their mind is going. It's almost like playing chess with the driver in front of you. You're trying to look and see where they're struggling, where you're kind of making ground, how you can kind of build a run down in certain corners. If they're going down on the low line, you're seeing them get a little loose and kind of slow her up off the corner. You're like in your head, you're like, can I maybe try to run this higher line and try to get a momentum run down the backstretch, and just trying to see where they're struggling and where you can personally capitalize and position your car to get by these guys. It may seem like it's some people would say it's single file racing, but it's almost as much fun trying to get in these drivers' heads and seeing what they're trying to do to get by.
You saw a pass for position. Jordan Wenzel has moved past the 99 of Tyro Lem and has now moved up into 3rd.
Looks like he may be looking on the back door of the 30 of Alex Murphy. He may be able to make this this run down the dog leg. Not quite. Probably couldn't get the power off before like he wanted. See if let's see if he takes that higher line.
He is definitely using all the gears.
Smooth inputs with the throttle, smooth inputs with the wheel. I like it, Rick. Save those tires. Wait for that long run. Wait for the guy in front of you to make a mistake and capitalize.
There is definitely a lot of movement in that car as they make it through that dog leg. Also, I noticed in that last run, you'll see it again here, the sun is playing a little bit of havoc, that late afternoon sun.
Oh, there you go. There's that mistake I was talking about, Rick. The 30, is he going to go down to the inside? He's going to stick his nose down there. Down
Absolutely.
there to the dog leg. He may be able to make this attempt at a pass going into one.
I think where he had the opportunity to take advantage of that, he actually had to back out of the throttle a little bit to avoid getting collected, and unfortunately he didn't gain the momentum he had earned.
Yeah, for a second there he had the 99 of Tyler Lem right back there on his back bumper. So I agree, Rick. They both kind of slowed up and allowed the 99 to get back to their back bumper. Now it's not only that he's looking out the front window and trying to see how he can get by the car in front of him, but now he's got to kind of look out for the guy behind him. So you're almost like on an offensive, defensive mode right now, and so you can kind of separate yourself again and try to go back after the 30.
All right, don't want to lose sight of the fact that Simon Magin is still leading up front. Simon's got nearly, he's got a pretty good gap between himself. He's letting all those guys battle behind him. That just helps him out to try and get a little bit of gap between himself. But you know what Simon's got coming up in his windshield in about a straightaway is he's going to wind up catching up to the tail end of the field and some lap down cars.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where things really kind of start to get interesting, and trying to be smart about navigating through these drivers and not losing too much time, but being smart.
Yeah, I think he's going to come up upon the 10 and the 20. That is going to be Vernon Broadbeck and Martin Pinnell. But again, still big battle going on between the 30 of Alex Murphy, the 81 of Jordan Wenzel. You know, last week here it was the Jordan and Jordan show. We had Jordan Booth battling Jordan Wenzel for the win. Obviously, Jordan Wenzel was able to seal the deal, but you know, here he is battling again.
Try to just fill up the rearview mirror of that 30 car. See if we can get him to make another mistake. He looks back down to the inside. He may be able to make the pass here. It's probably the deepest he's been able to get into the corner.
Yeah, I think
30 way up high.
Yeah, it went way high. Still not enough. Alex did.
He wasn't able to get the throttle off.
Yeah.
The 30 was maybe a little bit lower on the exit than the 81 of Wenzel was maybe anticipating. And I don't think he was able to safely get the throttle off without washing up the track too terribly much. And that's one thing that you can kind of do as a competitor, is running that outside line. The inside line may be able to get like a little bit closer to your door, but if you narrow up your exit, that kind of leaves the inside car nothing more to do than just to kind of ease back up off the throttle, because the two racing lines just do not kind of agree.
Simon Magin continues to show us the way here at Phoenix, but we're watching this battle for second that continues to play out in front of us between Alex Murphy in the 30 and Jordan Wenzel in the 81. And let's not forget Tyler Lem back there in the 99. He has still maintained his position and really capitalized on some minor incidents happening in front of him. Oh, 99 tagged the wall. You know, the challenge that all these drivers face here is that you've really got to be consistent all the way through, and it's super hard to do that on a track that is as oddly shaped here as Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of wondering, as we kind of look at these laps ticking down, we may see some drivers trying to navigate this scoring to try to figure out when drivers came down pit road last. But it wouldn't surprise me that some of those guys may be kind of getting close to their
Kai Colorado
Oh,
yellow
as
is
we have a
out.
yellow.
I think the 39 has also gotten involved. I think we'll expect to see everybody come down pit road. Here is the 39 of Kai Collimore. Let's see if we can go back and just figure out just what happened. He's by himself.
Just get loose. Yep. Very, very easy to do. Tires are getting more worn. Track is getting slicker.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
We see
Look.
just about everybody coming down pit road.
Oh. Yeah. Yep, the entire field is now showing on pit road, with the exception of a handful of drivers who have decided to stay out, but this certainly seems to be the right time to come down for fuel, yes, but tires certainly.
Well, here's the thing, Rick. Looking at it, we only have about 55 laps to go, and even less once we actually get this thing going. So, really, these drivers that are pitting out, they will not have to pit again. Now, they may later for tires, but as far as fuel goes, they're good. They can go to the end.
All right. Looks like just a handful of drivers coming back down pit road. Pretty much the entire field, with the exception of just a couple of drivers, chose to make that pit stop. And as Ryan indicated, this could be the final pit stop of the night based on tires and fuel.
Yeah, once these cars kind of cycle through, once you're good on fuel, and if you're able to get that lead, you may be golden. You know, tires may mean a little something, but we've also seen how critical that lead spot is for that jump on a restart. And even with old tires, I'm sure you could probably hold off some fresher shoes for at least a good 3 or 4 laps.
All right, just looking back through the field, see the 40 XLI guys of Jordan Booth and Brandon Hayes climbing their way back up towards the front. They're back up respectively in 14th and in 17th. That's good. We're still watching the 30th of Alex Murphy now, who has come out, I think, in front. There will be a number of cars in front that will get a wave around, I believe. I think Alex Murphy will wind up with lane choice.
I think it's a pretty easy choice, Rick.
yeah.
Inside every day.
Inside all day, every day. All right, this is our 11th caution of the night here at Phoenix with the iNASCAR Racing Series. 103 laps are in the books, and we are about to go back to green flag racing. Alex Murphy is the control car. He's got the 46 of Simon. This is pretty much an all Rumble Racing front row here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh! Little contact between the 30 and the 81 there.
An easy start for the 30. Looks like Jordan Wetzel is able to make it to the second position. The 01 of Travis Bennett trying to make a little move down there to the inside of Wetzel. Not able to make it happen down the backstretch.
But Travis Bennett moves up now, is showing in third. Oh, contact
See
in the
that?
back.
Looks like the 55 car.
Big contact. Lots of drivers involved. But yeah, the 55 of Vince Burns, Brandon Iskarian, Jeff Brogdon also involved. Looks like the 55 gets restarted and is picking up. We'll do a quick look at that, see if we can see where this all started.
Maybe a little bit of a disagreement in lane choice or entry to the corner.
Yep, that is the 72 of Varanakis. You know, he's coming up off the apron, working its way up, and then just not clear.
Yeah, certainly easy to do. We're getting down here toward the end of this race. 50 laps to go, and you're having to kind of make some stuff happen, and just really easy to kind of step over that line.
Yep. Well, a number of guys are involved. There are those that have quick repairs. I think they may be exercising that at the moment. '55 has got some broken toe link in that right front.
Absolutely, looks like he's still out of fast repair, so good for him.
Kind of looking back through, you can see Varanakis. He is in the pits for an extended period of time. He may not have had a fast repair. Jordan Booth is behind him as well. Looks like he's getting some damage taken care of. That's the 03 of Glenn Stanley coming back out, also involved in the incident. But you're right, it's just a long way off of pit road.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really kind of curious to see about this restart here. We're going to have the 30 of Alex Murphy, assuming that he's going to be in the inside line. Every leader has chosen that inside line on the on the restart. And we're going to have Jordan Wetzel on the outside, and the 01 of Travis Bennett back down the inside line in third. So curious to see if he's going to be able to make anything happen to try to get by the 81 with that preferred lane down on the inside, and maybe able to obtain that second position on this restart.
Yeah, we're definitely winding down. 48 laps, I believe, left to go in this event. We are seeing that was our 12th caution. But we knew coming into here, this with a 40-car field, this is a challenging track no matter who you are.
Oh, it's absolutely a challenging track. As much as I would like to get down there and shake it up with some of these guys, it's undoubtedly a very, very difficult track.
When the lights are off on top of our pace car, that means that we are about to go back under green flag conditions. Field is...
Did the leader take the outside there? The 30 was the leader, correct?
Took the outside, yes.
Interesting. That's the first time I think we've seen the leader take the outside. Could I be corrected here, Rick?
We'll see.
Am I going to be showing up? Yeah.
A little bit of they're spread out further on back in the field, about 10 or 12 positions. Is just not tight, but we have seen a little bit of contact and bumps on these restarts.
Clean start. I don't think it'll be an issue as he cuts down.
That's a good move, actually.
Yeah, biggest thing is trying to keep in your head that not to change lanes before you cross onto the start-finish line. If that isn't indeed a rule here. But nevertheless, we see the 30 of Alex Murphy again out front. The 81 hounding his back door. And it looks like we may have, yet again, another caution.
Yep, unfortunately, it's like it's going back towards the tail end of the field. So you see, I'm seeing the Jeff Brogdon may have been involved, as well as Scott Thomas. Those two were at the tail end of the lead lap. Take a quick peek at that real quick. I don't think that. So we're watching. You got the 11 of that High Rock Chevrolet, the 13 of Nick Alves.
The 14 clipped the wall just a little bit. I don't see that may have caused an incident. Coming up on the back of the, was it the 39?
No, the 79.
79.
Yeah. It's like he taps the rear bumper of the 79 and big damage to that 79.
79 of Scott Thomas.
All right, here we are, lap 112. My guess is, and I'm not saying this is going on down there on the track, but, patience can wear thin.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, someone is getting the wave around.
But with that said, I still see a couple cars out here that look pretty clean. I don't see a dent on that 30 car, Rick. Looking mighty fine.
Yep. Pretty clean. 30 Chevrolet of Alex Murphy. So, a number of, when you're at the front, good opportunity to stay out of trouble. Although, we had some earlier cautions that wasn't exactly true.
It looks like Alex may elect to go for that inside line this time on that restart. Certainly worth a try. It looked like it worked out, but I don't know if he was able to get the run quite like he was able to get on that inside by shortcutting that inside on the restart.
Yeah, a little change of plans. He's now decided, well, it's probably a little easier from that inside line.
I admire the attempt.
Yeah.
Gotta try, different stuff. See if try to gain any kind of advantage.
Well, if nothing else, it did show that if you can get a good jump, you're able to drive right down there.
Yeah, that's basically, as long as you can clear that second car, you're usually pretty good, and that kind of opens up your entry. But I don't think the advantage is quite there on the outside as much as it is on the inside for sure.
So
as we've seen.
Interesting lineup now. You've got the 81 of Jordan Wenzel and Travis Bennett lining up nose to tail on that outside line. Tyra Lem is currently in 5th. You got Matthew Robinson up 23 positions now in 6th.
Impressive.
Let's not overlook Simon Madgen. We've seen him leading. He is up 20 positions. He started back in 23rd.
Rolling through turn 3, turn 4, restart zone, fires off. Looks like it fired off a little late in the box. The 46 is right on his bumper.
Yep.
They both enter down onto the dog leg. Let's see if the 46 can clear the 81 of Jordan Wenzel. It looks like he will going into turn 1. And the 30 may have got a little high there. Let's see if the 46 can stay down to his inside. And it looks like he may going down the backstretch. Let's see if the momentum can carry for the 30 and outside. Clean entry into 3. Almost thought the 46 was going to get down to the inside of the 30, down there into 3.
You can definitely see the advantage of good team restarts because with the 30 and the 46 on the same team, fire off together, and it showed right there the difference it makes.
Yeah, it looks like we may be under our 14th caution here.
Looks like I know that Matt Perasuni was involved, but That's all I know. I see some damage to that DuPont 24. He's heading down pit road. We'll just take a quick look at this.
Look at all the hairiness there going on the dog leg. Oh,
That's the
the
11.
11 looks like he may have just got loose. There in the transition going onto the dog leg and onto the apron. Yep, that's exactly what it was.
And he took out the 55 to let this run through. The 24 tries to split him, and unfortunately, the 55 has just been.
I don't even think the 55 had any inkling of an idea that was about to happen. I'm sure that caught him completely by surprise.
So I saw the 67 was involved, obviously.
Oh.
55. Wow.
And back on all four wheels.
What just happened there?
The first rollover at Phoenix, I would say.
Okay. All right. So 24 will be in the pits getting some work done. Number of these drivers will have may not be able to return. There's a number of drivers, especially the 55 possibly. The 11 of Tyler Thurman also involved, trying to get some repairs done. So lap 118 of 156, our 14th caution.
And I'm going to make the assumption that all these drivers that are out here in the front, they're going to stay out. I don't think they have any intentions on coming back down pit road, especially with the way that this race has kind of seemed to lend out that we may be looking at 5 or 6 lap stints here.
Well,
I click down the laps.
Yeah, I think you're 100% correct, because they haven't run many. They last pitted on lap 100. It's lap 119. The majority of these laps have been under caution, so really no additional tire wear.
Well, you just may not have an opportunity to really utilize those tires. There's just not enough time to, even if the tires are a couple of tenths a second a lap better, the lap time, like the actual laps, is just, you don't have enough time to get back there to the front. So I don't anticipate anybody up here even thinking about coming down pit road. Maybe for a little bit farther back and kind of want to just try something, but I think everything's kind of set in stone here to the end.
Couple cars are on pit road. Jonathan Varanakis is 72. Vince Burns is actually making his way out of pit road. He is not the prettiest car, but he is getting back out on the track. The 72 looks not too bad.
Certainly getting plenty of air to that radiator.
Absolutely. All right, lights are off, and we're seeing the 30 is now found his ways to that low line. He's chosen that. Simon Magid, his teammate, is now to the outside. Travis Bennett has slipped back to 5th. 81 of Jordan Wenzel is sitting back there behind the leader. We'll see how this plays out.
These cars make their way down to turn 3, turn 4. 35 laps to go. Alex Murphy fires off once again, an excellent start. The 46 of Simon Magid actually getting a pretty fair restart there on the outside. Let's see if he can carry that momentum. Looking almost 3 wide going into turn 1.
Oh, car spinning up. Yellow is back out. There may have been another incident towards the back.
Yeah.
I think Garrett Walden and Kai Collimore were involved. That is actually these two are at the tail end, or what was the tail end of the lead lap.
I heard one phrase come over the radio, but it was said multiple times: not clear.
So we're watching the 39 car. Kai Collmore here. We're following here.
Certainly tight on each other's bumpers.
3 and the 43 are door to door, and unfortunately, looks like they actually collect
Oh,
yeah, that's Walton and Garrett Walden, who then collect the 39.
and then there's another incident farther up ahead that was
That's the
actually separate.
That's the 25, I think.
I believe you may be correct, Rick. I can't see what that white car is.
Yep. 25. I'm trying to find. That's Jacob Musso. That's what it is. Let's back that up for Jacob real quick. Yep, I already see it. Looks like he may got a little tap from the 15.
Yeah. Oh, and it's just an overcorrection. So easy to do with these cars.
Yep.
I thought he might have had it saved right there at the end.
All right. That is caution number 15 with just about 33 laps to go to finish this event here at Phoenix. You're watching the IWM broadcast network of the iNASCAR series. We are here at the Shriners Children 250 at Phoenix, and Alex Murphy is currently leading. You've got Simon Magid, Jordan Wenzel. Let's bring up that tower to give us our top 25. You see your favorite driver there. All right, just 30 or so laps to go to put this one to bed. We'll see where Alex Murphy lines up again. His teammate Simon Magid is in second, so he'll be to the outside. We'll have an all Rumble Racing front row. But right behind Jordan Wenzel, Travis Bennett, we've seen Tyrell Lem there. Corey Bunch is now up to 9th. Brandon Hayes with 40 XLI is now up to 13th. Could be an interesting restart. Hopefully we can get this running all green and finish out under green.
Yeah, I'd really like to try to see what these top competitors can do. We saw such a great battle there earlier in the race between the 3 or 4 of them battling out. I'd really like to try to get back to that if at all possible. But you know, it's like we mentioned before. It's a tough track. You know, nothing.
All right, looking back through the field, it looks like we have got 32 cars currently on the lead lap. Getting ready to go back to green. Should be an interesting restart here. Super tight, good move by the 81. Really gave that leader no advantage.
Yeah, he was able to get right back to the back bumper. And he may be able to hold off the 46 of Simon, and maybe able to clear him going into nope, not quite. 81 falls back to third with the 99 to his outside, the 99 of Tyler Lem.
Door-to-door battle with the 81 and the 99. The 01 Travis Bennett right there.
Got a battle for the lead, Rick.
Alex Murphy right there. His teammate Simon Magid right on his bumper.
I think Simon has a little something for him. If he can just let this thing go green, I think we may see a really good
Oh,
battle
wrecking.
here. Oh, the 12. That's going to be a big wreck, Rick.
That's Eric Jeffers. Also, the 28 was involved. That's Joe Musso. You can see that the front clip of that 12 has been severely impacted. He can stop and pick it up on his way to the pits. Eric Jeffers involved, Nick Alves, Jordan Booth, a number of, I think there was some, unfortunately, some collateral damage that may have occurred.
I think the Racing Warehouse is going to have plenty of body panels to sell to the lovely fans tonight.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Anybody did this to him. I think he just lost it coming off. Maybe he may have contacted that transition strip between the apron and the racing surface. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is probably where he got on it. He got half the car across it, and that's definitely going to like unload the car a little bit and make you loose. You almost have to fully commit to one side or the other of the apron. Splitting it like that certainly going to get you loose. And comes down, just
Giroux.
felt like nowhere to go.
Yep. And here comes
Even more.
That's Franz continues. He's involved. And unfortunately, he's now against the wall. You see Musso, no place to go, but he's locking it up pretty good. And others getting involved. Lots of damage. Yep, 41, unfortunately, was also involved. That's Jordan Booth. Looks like a bit of a parking lot. Okay, well, we're still on lap 130.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Tony.
30's dropped into the back of the pack for changing lanes before the start-finish line.
Ah, okay, all right. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate that.
No problem, sir.
All right, just got word to help us understand why Alex Murphy is now being moved all the way back, getting an EOL, end of the line penalty for unfortunately changing lanes.
That answers one of my questions, whether that was something that would be penalized, changing lanes. So I don't know if I quite saw that. I wasn't looking for it on that last restart. But I guess maybe he tried to drop down below onto the apron a little bit prematurely because he was starting on the inside line.
We can go back up and look. We'll see if we can catch that before we go back.
We see rolling up to the Geico restart zone. He fires off.
Yep, right there.
Might have been close.
Yep, but admin has basically said that that penalty was assessed to the 30, and unfortunately that will put him at the tail end. That is going to be a challenge. I don't wish that on my worst racing enemy, to have to navigate up through 40 cars to try to get back up to where he was, and unfortunately that leaves Simon Magin
So
up there.
does that leave the 81 as the leader? Like, did the inside line just move up one position, or?
I think the
It's
46
showing-
winds up being the leader.
Okay, so it is the 46 who is still leader. Okay. So a great opportunity for him, because otherwise he would have been restarting on the outside line. More than likely.
Yep, he's got the 01 behind him of Travis Bennett, the 81 of Jordan Wenzel, Tyra Lem. That's your top four. They have been battling out for the last almost 100 laps, right?
And as we kind of look, the track has certainly gotten darker. The sun has gone down. We are under the lights here with 24 laps to go. The 46 with a great restart. Travis looking to the inside of Jordan. Let's see if he can get a run, and maybe to the inside of Simon here.
big run by Bennett, but the 81 is still battling, trying to get around. That low line just seems to be the preferred line to get around this track.
There we go. I think the 81 is going to clear up and off the corner and down the backstretch if he doesn't get into the wall. Certainly close to that safer barrier. We've seen a couple people nip it just a little bit. A nice little dive down, close the gap really close to Simon there. Let's see if he can carry it down across the front stretch. Might have lost a little bit of speed off of 4.
22 laps to go. Definitely running a little higher line right there. That's the 01 and the 99. I mean, if you can make that high line work, it's definitely a fast way around this track.
Yeah, I like the high line, especially when you start getting older tires and whatnot. Just being able to almost come off that corner straight as you can without burning the right rear is certainly beneficial.
Oh,
so
a little bit high.
Yeah, I can't tell what happened there, whether he just got a little loose getting into the corner and had to chase it up the track. That certainly led to an opportunity for Travis Burnett. It looks like we may be under the caution once again.
Oh, we are, yeah, big incident. Number of drivers, that's looking at the 96 of Mike Wheel. I'm sure he's going to probably have some significant damage back there.
We had toe link, yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's absolutely what it is.
Oh,
that car will not turn.
Nope. Let's see if we can go back and quickly look. Number of drivers involved: Walden, Jones, Mike Wheel, Pinnell, Musso, and Musso Jr., Alex Murphy. Alex Murphy was also involved. Actually, that's what happens at the tail end of the field. Contact with, man, so it looks like the
hard hit.
Yep, let's back that up just a little bit. Like the 79 of Scott Thomas may have, unfortunately, had some contact with the 96 and spun him around. And then
Shout out to the
unfortunately,
Declan sponsor of the 79.
right. That's just a minor tap, but unfortunately, that's all it took to really bury that 96 in the safer barrier. And then unfortunately, the 50, the 03, the 43 got collected. The 15 of Franz slips by on the low side. And the 94 looks like he got a little bit of contact. Oh, there's the 11 again. 13. There was Alex Murphy. Oh, big, big wreck towards the back of the field. Well, with 19 laps to go, we've had it's our 17th caution of the night. A gaggle of drivers got collected, and with it being a mile track, it does not take a big incident to collect a lot of guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at some of these comments from YouTube, we see Darren say, number 99, let's go Lem. We see Tyler Lem sitting there in the 4th position. Let's see what he can do here towards the end of this race. See if he can make it up to the podium.
Yeah, and that's not a bad place to be. Also, Corey Bunch, he's now up to 5th. I think, anywhere if you can be in that top 5 with 18 to go, it's really anybody's race.
Oh, absolutely. I remember the last race we had here for the IWM Cup Series. There was an incident on one of the last laps, and I believe it was a car that was maybe in 4th on that last lap, ended up winning the race by squeaking through some of the chaos that happened on the last corner of the event, and took the checkered flag. So yeah, so long as you can keep yourself in that top 3-4 position, you never know what could happen.
Yeah, whether that was in sim racing or on what happens on Saturday or on Sunday, You just got to get yourself in a position to be successful. I think it all comes down to he who makes the least mistakes wins.
Absolutely.
All right, so your leader, Simon Magin, is in that. He's in the control car. He's in that low line. He's got the 81 of Jordan Wenzel was outside. 01 Travis Bennett behind the leader, and the 99 of Tyler Lem to the outside. Take a few cars out of line further on back. As we get ready to go back to green. All right, green flag flies. Oh, there's already wrecking.
More wrecking.
Oh, 5 spinning. Big wreck.
Oh. Massive wreck.
Just to give you some names, I see Alves, Bostic, Mills, Franz, Michael Whitley, Martin Pinnell, Josh Douglas were involved, Ty Bostic, Jonathan Veronakis, Eddie Musso Jr., Glenn Stanley. Well, we're going to finish this race at some point. That's officially our 18th caution of the night. So
it happens.
Yep.
Certainly happens.
So one of the things you heard us talking about earlier were incident points, and that is something that iRacing assesses each driver, whether that's contact with the wall, contact with another driver, and unfortunately it can add up. Now, we'll have to go back and look, but some leagues will have so many incident points, and at that point a black flag, which requires you to come down pit road, gets issued. Not every league does that. Some will just let it ride, and it is what it is. But because of the fact that you've only got one fast repair, I think there's a number of drivers who may have involved in this incident will wind up having to stay on pit road for a bit to try and get some repairs made.
Yeah, I'm seeing 4 meatball flags through the field currently. Never a sight you ever want to see, but super unfortunate for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, especially with those big hits where you begin to see the car come apart with lots of front end damage. You know, it's not just that bumper. You know, it's certainly engine damage, and iRacing will, unfortunately, based on the geometry and the analysis of that collision, they'll assess damage and sideline you. It's one of the great things that I think that iRacing does as part of this simulation. They really will try to apply some real world physics to what happens to the car.
Yeah, just like what you've seen with a lot of these front toe links. That's something that's very prevalent in the Cup Series. An issue.
Yeah, when this car first came out, you know, we saw that toe link become such a major factor that all you had to do was touch another car or hit a wall, and you know you were done for. What they've done over this past season is really beefed up that toe link. Almost it's twice the thickness that it was before, and that has caused that to not be quite the same issue that it was originally, but you know, certainly is a factor with this multi-link suspension system.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see, once again, the lights are off on the pace car. Looks like Simon is ready to go, sitting there warming up his tires a little bit. Try to get a little bit of heat back into them.
Yeah, I was pretty certain that someone had posted in YouTube that they were thinking that we were going to see 20 or 25 cautions, and I was like, nah, that seems a bit much, but you never know.
Here we go. Beat the 81. The 81 gets a really good start there. Looks like he's going to clear potentially the 01 of Travis Bennett, but Travis gets a great run on the outside.
Not quite enough to drop down in front. That 81 is still staying strong, but there it is. He gets around.
Here you go. Clear. Starting to, as the lights go down, we're starting to see more sparks from when these cars leave the racing surface and down onto the apron. The 01 is in the wall. I don't know if you just overcooked that corner or what, but that's one of our main contenders that they got up into the wall there. He's still able to maintain that second place position, but it looks like we may have some contact. 99 is in the inside wall.
99 has fallen way back.
We stay green, Rick, and position is second through fourth. An excellent battle as the 01 tries to continue to hound the back door of Jordan Wenzel.
99 is all the way back at the tail end of the field in 24th. But still continuing battle right here with Magin, Wenzel, and Bennett. Bunch has moved up to fourth.
Jordan just turned his fastest lap, Rick, at 26.993. So again, we're talking about those lap times in the 26-second bracket. We just saw one get turned. Track's cooling off. Grip is starting to pick up.
You can see he's kind of really. Although that 26.99, don't lose sight of the fact that the 46 turned at 27.08, but we are back under caution.
I saw Travis Bennett back in the wall there right about when the caution came out. Kind of wonder if maybe his steering is a little bit off from those contacts. Certainly not the cause for the caution, but just an interesting note there.
Looks like Sean Walton may have been involved in that familiar paint scheme, that number 3 good wrench. Not sure just who was also involved and got collected in that.
We're talking about Travis. I heard him say over the radio that turn 1 is certainly getting really, really slick on entry. So you may see a couple drivers struggling with that.
So I think what we just saw with the number 3, we've seen all race long, and that is drivers who have straddled that yellow line, and you just cannot do that.
You've got to commit to one side or the other.
If you were to look at the actual track itself, that apron there where you see that yellow line and all that advertisement and painting, that is nearly flat. And there is a degree of banking at that yellow line. That yellow line's there for a purpose. It's basically to tell the driver, do not straddle me, do not ride me, because it is not going to work. And unfortunately, that message is not getting telegraphed to these drivers. All right, 5 laps to go. Good chance that we could possibly. Well, we're still under caution now. Lights are still on. It's possible we could come back with just 3 laps to go and not have to go into a green-white checker. What's the odds of that happening, Ryan?
I think it might happen. So that would give us, certainly assuming that we have 3 green-white checkers. If this one doesn't count as a green-white checker, we could have 4 attempts here towards the end of the race. at 3 laps to go. So you see 4 laps to go and the lights are still on the pace car, so it looks like we'll at least take one more lap around.
So we'll wind up actually in a green-white checker situation.
I would agree. That's the way it's looking like it's going to be.
Yep.
Assuming we also get 3 green-white checkers, I would believe.
I would believe that is the case as well. Let's hope that we don't have to use them.
Certainly.
We appreciate you staying with us through this Thursday night iNASCAR Racing Series here on the IWM Broadcast Network. We appreciate you tuning in. Obviously, you have a choice as to where you go for your streaming sim racing, and we're thankful that you've tuned in to us. Please like and follow along with whatever platform that you're watching us on, and stay up to date as to future events here on the IWM network. All right, lights are off. We've got 3 laps to go. If you're unfamiliar with the green-white checker, that just means cars come around, they'll take the green flag. If they make it all the way around without an incident, the white flag will come out, and the next car across that start-finish line will win the race. So pretty much this is it. You've really got to make your move now. There's no holding back.
Yeah.
They are tight together right now. 46 of Simon Magin is in control, but tight to his outside. The 81 of Jordan Wenzel. And don't forget, you've got the 01 of Travis Bennett right behind, and Corey Bunch up to 4th on the outside.
Late in the box goes the 46.
We are underway, but a little bit of contact.
Look how low Travis Burnett is going there.
Try to protect that line card. A bit of rub on the wall. The 14. Caution is out. Caution is out for a spin by Richard Mills. We're going to rack and stack this all over again. Richard Mills is missing his nose.
Oh, just like we talked about, turn 1 starting to get a little bit loose on entry.
He runs dead into the 94 of, I think that's Michael Whitney. Fortunately, not good for either driver. So the 5 has got some significant front end damage. But Michael Whitney has also been involved, and he's now in the pits, along with Jacob Musso. Ty Bostic is in the pits as well. There you see the 50 of Martin Giroux towards the back. All right, is that going to change anything? I don't think so. It's still Magin, Wetzel, Bennett, and Bunch. That's your top 4. It seems to me, Ryan, it's all going to be about that restart and that jump.
The timing of the restart. It's almost as if you're that 2nd or 3rd place car, you can't wait for the leader to fire off. You almost have to like completely anticipate it, hoping that you don't overstep that line and go too early. But what other shot do you have? If you keep on doing like you're doing, you don't have what it seems like a shot. You know, the leader's been able to get such a great jump on the start of the race, or the restarts, that if you don't perfectly time that run, it's just gonna be tough. And of course, you saw the 46 go in the box late. That last start, kind of shaking things up, about when you're going to be able to go in that box. Of course, for those that may be new to iRacing or racing in general for the Cup Series, That blue box that you see that has the Geico line, that is your restart zone. You are, as the leader, able to go anywhere within that restart zone, and if you reach the end of the restart zone without going, well, green flag goes out and everybody's able to go. But you're able to choose when exactly you're able to restart, and you can kind of play a mind game with those second or third place drivers of when am I going to fire off? Am I going to go early? Am I going to go late? Am I going to shake it up? So we'll see what the 46 decides to do.
What would you do?
I always personally, I like to go early. Like as soon as I dip my front tires in that blue box, I always like to go early because the later you wait, the more of an idea that the drivers behind you have an idea to go, because your box to restart in gets smaller and smaller the farther you get into it. So without giving too many of my secrets away, I always like to go early whenever I have the opportunity to, whenever I find myself in a fortunate position to be up towards the front.
Well, I mean, it's declining value because once you get towards the end of that restart zone, it's all game on at that point, right?
Yeah, the drivers behind you know that you have no choice but to fire off, once you get to the end of it. So, and I remember NASCAR at one point was talking about, and actually tried extending that restart zone and making it bigger so that box for the driver was more of a significance about when they could fire off.
That didn't work.
Yeah, it was a little bit much of an advantage, and games were played. So I like the way it is that we don't have too much of an idea, but it's still reasonable. But here we go inside the restart zone. The 46 fires off a little bit early. Still certainly within it, but it gets a good run.
Really broke up the entire front four. Whatever he did worked. Of course, that puts the 81 on his tail. Caution is back out. Tyler Thurman. That means that we'll be at the, this will be the third and final green-white checker.
I think I may be saying that this is the second green-white checker. I could be corrected there. It says green-white checker 2 of 3. So I don't know if the next one it rolls over or not. But one thing I also wanted to kind of mention, give a shout out to Jeff Brogdon in the 14. He's certainly a driver that we've seen creep back up to the front. We saw him get into a couple incidents not of his own doing, and get past that. And before you know it, look, he's up here in the top 5. So shout out to him. Excellent job by Jeff. And again, what do you see? The 11 just getting on that apron and getting loose, something that we've seen multiple times tonight.
Yep, that seems to be the story here in Phoenix. That yellow line has bitten a number of drivers. I'd say just conservatively, at least half of our cautions tonight have been because of a driver straddling that yellow line.
Yeah, it's certainly tempting.
Unfortunately, there's no way out. Once you're there, you're stuck. All right, so I think we're not really sure whether this is our second green-white checker or our third. You think it's second, Ryan?
All I see up here on the iRacing display is it says green-white checker 2 of 3.
Okay,
so it just depends on whether that rolls over once the flag lights go up, but we may have another shot at it after this. Hopefully, we won't need it regardless. But
correct. We'd love to see this one finish up. 3 laps to go. That's our green-white checker. Simon Magin is currently still in control. Jordan Wenzel, but Corey Bunch now has moved into third.
Yeah, a little bit of a shakeup here in the top 5, as I mentioned before. 46 of Simon Magin and the 81 of Jordan Wenzel, 2 drivers that have been up here at the front for most of the race, but other than that, the other drivers that were up there have had some issues and we see Travis Bennett back there in 4th. So still relatively up there where he had been, but on that outside.
Yeah, I was going to say, other big movers in 6th. Matthew Robinson, he is plus 23 positions. Not to overstate, but Simon Matchett, who's currently leading, he started 23rd. Matthew Robinson, he started 29th. Scott Thomas, 37th. He is the biggest mover on the board, at least in the top 10.
Very impressive.
You know, part of this is just obviously we've had a lot of cautions tonight, and it really is a matter of attrition, staying out of trouble. You've got to have a 4-leaf clover or a horseshoe taped to your dash at some point as well.
Yeah,
about
for sure.
to go back to green.
A lot of, like what you said, it's also not just you staying out of incidents, but not beating yourself. You know, like what you mentioned, people losing it on their own, getting on that apron and that yellow line and getting loose. Well, just as tempting as it may be to try to get that low or across the dog leg, kind of shallow, you just gotta control yourself and not put yourself in that situation.
I mean, your point earlier was you just got to commit. You just can't just ride that line.
Correct.
All right, they're in turn 4 in the Geico restart zone. We're back underway under green-white checker conditions.
Corey Bunch with a fairly good restart there. He may be able to clear the 81. Maybe not. The 46 looked a little slow there.
Here we are back under caution. Brandon Hayes, Eric Jeffers, Cody Graham involved. I think you just got to keep racing back to the stripe.
I think we may still have another shot at it. Pace car is out. So one last shot at it, Rick.
That's going to put the 77 to the outside. Corey Bunch working his way back up to the top. I'm just guessing at the back tail in the field, there's a lot of frustration with these drivers. You can see that
sure.
40, he's also missing. He's got some significant front end damage. Slightly tapped. Well, the 12, the 27, go around that. Yeah.
I saw about 2 or 3 cars get loose there. It certainly looks slick out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, just looking at the drivers who are in now, that they've been out there for 50-something laps on those tires. You can see they're kind of like the walking wounded, making their way around this track right now. Just looking back at the field, you see A-Bar, Ennis Giroux with damage. The Brandon Hayes missing a nose. I think a lot of these drivers are looking forward to leaving the desert. So we're going to leave here, and then we're off to Bristol. So next week, we're going to be in Bristol for the Food City 250 with these drivers. How much different is that? Well, it could be a little different, for sure. I mean, Bristol is completely different. It's a bowl.
Yeah, one thing to note this year is no dirt this year. So we get Bristol on the concrete for both the fall and the spring race. So that kind of shakes things back up a little bit. Get the old Bristol back for the spring race. And the best drivers get to kind of hash it out at that little bull ring.
You know, I was never really a huge fan of these cars trying to masquerade as a dirt.
Yeah, it certainly seemed a little gimmicky. I could kind of see what NASCAR was trying to go with it, but these cars certainly weren't made for dirt, and you can kind of tell that a little bit for sure.
Well, with the amount of aero that happens underneath the car, the amount of air that needs to get through the front end of the car and the windshield, I don't know. I am not sad to see the dirt go away.
Yeah, I think the racing at Bristol has just gotten better over the years, even with the short track package with these next gens been struggling a little bit. I feel like Bristol's one of the one places on the short track that it's actually been fairly decent in my opinion. Both the low line and the high line was able to work there, at least in real life, that is.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we are about to get back underway here.
See the 81 super tight on the back bumper of Simon here.
He has
got
got
to time it.
Oh,
and a
he
fairly
did.
Good start. He certainly got by the 77 of Corey, and he's going to clear it. He may have a shot at the 46. We saw in that last restart that it seemed like the 46 was a little bit conservative getting into that corner. He's going to shoot to the outside. He may be able to get a run here.
77 behind him, taking that outside line.
Oh, he gets in the wall. He had to try to push it, and he just pushed it a little bit too far, but he may still have a shot here. Getting back down to the back bumper of the 46. We got a car on the wall that's going to probably call the race, and I think that's going to give our win to Simon Madgen here for the Shriners Children's 250 here at Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, sounds like Simon Madgen will win. He's got maybe a connection issue. But that we'll see when the official comes up. But that is it. We'll finish this race under caution here with our 23rd caution of the night for a yellow flag where we had some of the, let's go back and just look. Not sure where that was called. I think possibly Tyler Lem was involved. But all said, we'll wait for the final race results to be posted. But I think what we've got is Simon Madgen will win here with Jordan Wenzel in second and Corey Bunch in third.
And certainly a valiant effort by Jordan. I think he might have had just a little bit better of a car there, but just did not have the laps to gather a run or really put the pressure to the back of Simon.
Good finish though, Corey Bunch making it up to third. It's just so hard to pass and to try and figure out a way to make it work here with just a lap or two under the green-white checker conditions just makes it impossible. But there you have it. That's the winner here, the final here. You can see your podium drivers forming up. Let's bring up the race results. There you have it. Simon Madgen wins with Rumble Racing. Jordan Wenzel second. Corey Bunch finishes in third. Jeff Brogdon in fourth. Travis Bennett finishes in fifth. Matthew Robinson in sixth. Jordan Booth in seventh. Tyler Lemon eighth. Scott Thomas ninth. And James Jones in 10th.
Jonathan Varanauskas, I'm going to say, in 11th. 12th, Vince Burns. 13th, Brendan Hayes. 14th, Cody Graham. 15th, Alberta Abar. 16th, Glenn Stanley. 17th, Richard Mills. And 18, Josh Douglas. 19, Josh Mosso. 20th, Jacob Mosso.
Nick Alves in 21st. Ty Bostic finishes in 22nd. Michael Bennett in 23rd. Sean Walton in 24th. Eric Jeffers in 25th. Vernon Broadbeck in 26th. Alex Murphy finishes in 27th. Martin Giroux in, Martin Giroux backed it up just a tiny little bit. Martin Giroux finishes in 28th. Corey Innocent 29th. Clark Franz is in 30th.
Michael Whitney Jr. in 31st. 32nd, Tyler Thurmond. Martin Pinnell finishes 31st. 34th, Garrett Walden. 35th, Mike Wheel. 36th, Kai Collymore. 37th, Matt Perusini. 38th, Eddie Mosso Jr. 39th, Brandon Iskaran. I'm so sorry. 40th, Alex Forget Berube.
Yep.
Forget.
That's it. And that's our competitors for tonight. The rest of the field, unfortunately, did not qualify. So there you have it. Simon Magin is our winner, and we'll wait to try and see if we've got some interview opportunities. I think we finished. If I haven't, I'm just going back to my notes here. I think it was 22 cautions. How that all played out?
I think that's about right. Maybe 22 or 23.
But good finish. We definitely saw some guys who worked their way up through the field and wound up finishing high. Just again, 22 plus 22 positions for our winner, Simon Magin. Again, 23rd. Matthew, 6th place, up 23 positions with Matthew Robinson. 9th place, Scott Thomas. He gained 28 positions, and then 10th, James Jones, plus 25. Let's go ahead and grab Corey Bunch. He's now in our green room. Let's bring him into the broadcast. And Corey, you battled so hard.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding.
Man.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start. Geez, high pacing at its finest. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but I mean, great for us to be able to finally have a good top 5 finish, but as far as the racing itself, you couldn't really race. So
it was super hard. I think if you go back and watch what we saw on the broadcast, it was, I think the yellow line where the apron meets the racing surface really bit a lot of drivers.
Yeah, and I done my best to try to avoid that up until maybe towards the end, like on the outside, because I had to try to get feedback from Travis Bennett and just ask him like how it was by starting on the outside lane, because I knew if I didn't cut that dog leg going to the outside, I probably would have lost some positions. So, but yeah, been a lot of people. Eric was one of them, and it was unfortunate for him too, running the top 10, and then I think he wrecked over twice and probably collected some people as well. But overall, you think I'd be happy for a 3rd place finish, which I am points wise, because we've been on the struggle bus here. But as far as like trying to be able to get a race going, you just didn't have that, and it's kind of deflating. So
well, so it was good to see you up at the at the front end with you and Jordan battling, trying to get around. But as we stated in the broadcast, this is a tough track to try and pass the leader.
Yeah, it is, and it probably makes more of the reason why it's the championship finale. It just tests the best out of the drivers, and maybe some of the drivers in this field, it's proved too much for them, more or less. But I felt really good, and then that wreck that had involved the leaders, I thought that was it. I thought the bad luck was coming back, and I think we got back all the way down to 36, but we just kept working at it, and that's probably one thing I probably be thankful for the cautions was, they came at the right time, because I think we had good long run speed. We had the speed, we had the pace. It's just trying to execute and not get caught up in everyone else's mess, and they kind of showed tonight. So really proud of the number 77 team. Full throttle. They gave me a nice piece as well, and they spent all week trying to hype me up to be like, man, it's not you. You're just having a rough patch. You'll get better. You'll be knocking top 5s or top 10s, and positive feedback. And here we are in 3rd. So I'm pretty happy about the finish, but just just hate that we couldn't really race it out.
Well, again, super proud to get back up to third, though. That's certainly, at least you can hang your hat on that. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, just again, my teammates, the Full Throttle Motorsports, we just kind of, you know, they got the team points, and us trying to challenge each other. It's more important to get up there and not only try to battle ourselves, but just get wins on a consistent basis. So we're trying to do all that. But I appreciate all the guys that they do. I appreciate you all as well for the broadcast. I just, I keyed the mic. I was like, man, I apologize to the broadcast, man, because I think we probably had 22 cautions or something like that, which I think was more than last year. But you guys are troopers and stuck it out, and we appreciate you very much.
No worries.
But yeah, and I do want to make a quick note as well. There was, and I've been trying to say this too, but like there was on a personal level, I had a coworker of mine, not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before, all of a sudden passed away, and kind of got me out of my element because it's just one of those things you just unexpected. But I just want to just, lift up his family and his kids and all them, thinking about you. And one last thing, Jeffrey Brogdon coming back. I was shocked by that. So shout out to Jeffrey Brogdon, man. That was a nice surprise right there. I miss that guy so much, and I'm just happy he was able to come back for, at least for tonight, and hopefully he'll be able to race more.
Absolutely. But it was great to have. We're going to try and drag Jordan up here to the booth as well.
Field.
Hey, Jordan, congratulations on your P2 finish.
You caught me in the middle of a rant.
I figured I saw you down there. I figured it was time to pull you in. It was certainly a challenging night for a lot of racers tonight.
Sure, that's a word we can use for it.
That's what we're hanging our hat on. We're just saying it was a challenging night. Not a lot of patience out there. Certainly a challenge with, when you go back and look at the broadcast, you'll see, a lot of the replays that we still went back and looked at, what caused this wreck and that wreck. There's some pretty consistent themes there. So.
I believe we had this conversation last week.
May have. Well, but the big story is, hey, you know what? You put yourself in a position at the end there to battle. You were actually in position pretty much the entire race to be successful here.
Yeah, and I wish that Simon was about 5 inches faster than the caution was, so that we got that white flag and I could have raced him to the end, because I had such a huge run on him coming out of 4, and I'm pretty sure I could have got him going into 1 and 2, but yellow comes out after, I don't know, how many cautions we have? 23?
Yeah, 22, 23, 22, I think. But
yeah, so you can't move around the field when it's 1 to green, 2 to yellow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We were certainly making note there at the end of how quick you seemed to be there. And it was making us wonder if we just had a few more laps there, what you might have been able to do. Because
I think if we even got to that white flag, I would have been able to get around. But it is what it is. Simon got up there, and then it's easy to lead pace laps.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did have a good number of those tonight.
Yeah, I do have to give Simon credit, though. He is the only person who actually started the race who finished with 0 incidents. So
very impressive.
He ran himself clean, and yeah.
Not to mention the fact that he started in 23rd, I believe. So
yeah,
yep,
got himself in the playoffs, baby.
All right, any shout outs tonight, Jordan?
Shout outs to anybody with 16X or less.
Those will be hard to find.
So. Yeah. There's some really good guys out there. Travis and Corey were running me clean. They always do. Jeff, I was so glad to see him back. Last year's champion. Even after having a bunch of issues, was able to come back and finish 4th. So, and I love when he races. He's taught me to become so much better just because of how fast he is. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now for him.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's Jordan Wenzel, second place finisher tonight in this event here at Phoenix. Let's bring Mr. Simon into the booth. Simon, imagine, congratulations on your win.
Thank you, thank you.
This was definitely one of those, outlast kind of races here.
Oh, last year, but I don't remember the track, but tonight is the good night. But it's not easy. It's not easy. A lot of yellow flag tonight. It's intense.
Certainly a challenge when you're trying to deal with that many cautions, but you put yourself in a position. We were just remarking that you started in 23rd position and worked your way up.
Yeah, the option on the only option for me this is go fast on the start and go in the front pack, because on the middle pack is so crazy. A lot of no space for nobody. But this is yeah. Now I work on this, and it's good. It's good for me for tonight.
All right, that does punch your ticket into the playoffs. That kind of takes the pressure off. Next week we are at Bristol. I think, guys, we are gonna see a lot of contact up in Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
All right, Simon, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to Grant Resotto, Rumble Racing Team, family and friends, and thank you for your broadcast, guys. This is good. It's good to be watching you. But yeah, thank you for your patience with me. Sorry for my English. I'm so, but
Oh, you're
thank you, guys.
you're perfectly fine. All right, there you have it. Simon Magin is our winner tonight. He takes the checkered flag in the Shriner Children's 250 here in Phoenix. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast. And from Ryan and myself, we thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next week here on Thursday nights. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for our Friday Night Money series starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else, Ryan?
No, I think we're good. Very much looking forward to the upcoming races and tomorrow night and so forth from the IWM broadcast channel.
All right. Thank you, folks. We'll see you. We'll see you tonight.